Everyone, grace and peace. Welcome to Find the Intersection. My name is Paul Dezay. I'm the pastor here in Columbus, Indiana at Sandy Hook United Methodist Church. And today is Thursday, and which means it's Psalm Day. So we're going to be taking a look at Psalm 123. If you're joining us for the first time, the way this works is we take the four passages for this coming Sunday's Revised Common Lectionary, and we use them as a Bible reading plan through the week to prepare us for Sunday. So on Monday, we use the gospel passage. On Tuesday, the New Testament. Wednesday, the Old Testament. And Thursday, we use the Psalm, which is today. And then Friday, we prayerfully discover the themes, the threads, the intersections, the themes where where they overlap these passages. And then on Sunday, we come to worship, and the songs and the sermon are inspired by these same passages that we've been chewing on and reading through the week. It's an amazing, transformative way of reading the Bible. So today is Psalm 123, which is a psalm of ascent. And this is really important. Psalms 120 to Psalm 134, those psalms are psalms of ascent or songs of ascent. And the Israelites would sing these songs on their pilgrimage to Jerusalem for the festivals, Passover, and so things like that. So they would sing these songs. So in the back of our minds, I think it's important to be imagining being on that journey with the Israelites going towards Jerusalem, singing these songs. And maybe as Christians, we sing these songs as prayers on our journey with Christ. So when you take a look at this psalm, there are a few things that stood out to me today. Number one, it starts off with verse 1. It says, "I raise my eyes to you, you who rule heaven." So the psalmist is saying that he raises his eyes towards the one who rules heaven. His eyes were focused on other things. They were focused on the situations, the shame, the contempt, the mockery. They were focused on the negativity around them. And the psalmist makes the decision to lift his eyes towards God, who is the king. And I think that reference to king is incredibly important because the Israelites always looked to God as their king until they wanted their own king, a human king. And then it kind of went downhill for the most part, especially through the reign of Solomon and beyond. But what we end up here seeing is a declaration that God himself is king. Another thing that I think is important is the changing from I to us. And in the first verse, it says, "I raise my eyes to you." But then in verse number 2 and 3, the language is us, how our eyes attend to the Lord, have mercy on us. So the psalmist is shifting his viewpoint from a personal viewpoint to a collective community viewpoint. I think that's really important, and that's our journey too. We focus on ourselves and our own needs, but as we mature, as we journey with Jesus, our focus becomes on other people, loving other people. I think that's important for us. The next thing that I think is important is to recognize that this is a cry for mercy. This is a cry for mercy, and God always hears the cries of his people. And so this prayer is a prayer for mercy. Mercy is repeated, so mercy is the key word. The Israelites, if you remember from yesterday, they're in this cycle of sinning, committing evil, and God allows the superpower to conquer them. And then they cry out, and God rescues them. And then they repeat this process where God's always hoping that the Israelites, just like children, will grow up and learn from their mistakes. This is one of those cries. They're in shame, they're in contempt, they're being mocked, and they're crying out to God. And we, as people who maybe follow in those same footsteps as repeating that sin, rescue, sin, crying out, rescuing cycle that the Israelites do, we could be assured that God hears our cries, and he hears the cries of hurting people. He hears the cries of oppressed people. And he comes to bring rescue. He comes to bring a new exodus. He comes to save us from ourselves, save us from our shame, save us from our sin, save us from death, save us from evil. And that's who this God is. So the question I reflect upon as I leave this psalm today, and I encourage you to reflect on it as well, is what am I looking at? Where are my eyes? focused? Are my eyes focused on the things around me, the struggles, the challenges? And of course they are, right? But I have a decision, just like the psalmist has a decision, to raise my eyes, to look upon God as my king. And I would encourage you to reflect upon that today. And are you focused just on yourself? And can you be on this journey towards God, towards Jerusalem, and focus from your own needs to the needs of others around you? That's all I got. That's Psalm 123. I'll be back tomorrow for the intersection day, where we kind of put it all together and look at these 4 passages and see where they overlap. So encourage you to continue on this journey with us, and we will see you tomorrow. Grace and peace to you.